looks like we got some drama going down between the developer of PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds and Epic Games. What is going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. And yeah, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds developer Bluehole has kind of been throwing some jabs and kind of maybe threatening some sort of action against Epic Games because Fortnite debuted its Battle Royale mode, which is a copy of PUBG, but then again, PUBG is a copy of a copy anyways. So this is all kind of turned into one big drama, and I wanted to talk about some of this stuff because I find it really interesting. So like I mentioned before, Epic Games, they announced their Battle Royale mode, right? It came out a couple weeks ago. They just announced that it's coming free to consoles in 4 days on the 26th. So it's going to launch on Xbox One and PS4 for free before PUBG even gets to consoles. So that's kind of interesting. Keep that in the back of your mind as well. Now, the issue they go on here with the statement is like, we've had an ongoing relationship with Epic Games throughout PUBG's development, as they are the creators of Unreal Engine 4, which is the engine we use to license the game. After listening to the growing feedback from our community and reviewing the gameplay for ourselves, we are concerned that Fortnite may be replicating the experience with PUBG as known. Now, that's interesting. So PUBG licensed Unreal Engine 4 from Epic Games, right? And so they're kind of partners together. Well, maybe PUBG is more of a customer. But either way, they might be viewing this from a different scope. Maybe they think Unreal or Epic, because they used Unreal, maybe they got to look at their game code so they're able to maybe make the game quicker or copy PUBG quicker. I don't know. But, you know, the whole line there, we are concerned that Fortnite may be replicating the experience with PUBG as known, right? But the thing is, like, PUBG isn't unique in any sense of the word. I mean, it's basically just H1Z1, which PlayerUnknown himself worked on. PUBG is a copy of a copy. It's not a unique gameplay idea. I mean, the culling came out before. I mean, Battle Royale modes have been done to death. So I don't really get it that they're concerned Fortnite may be replicating the experience. Well, yeah, the video game industry is basically all about copying one another. That's what happens. People copy ideas that are successful. But anyways, they keep going and says, we have also noticed that Epic Game references PUBG in the promotion of Fortnite to their community and in communications with the press. This was never discussed with us, and we don't feel it's right. Now, see, I don't know if there's any legal precedent to compare your game to another game in advertisements and promos. Like, how many times have we heard, this is the Dark Souls, or we're fans of Dark Souls, so this is the Dark Souls of this? Or how many times have we heard, oh, it's a Metroidvania, it's like Metroid or Castlevania, you know, or it's like Halo or stuff like that. Like, games always reference other games when talking about them because players kind of need that connection. You know, when Ori and the Blind Forest came out and they were talking about that game, it's easy to say, oh, it's a Metroidvania, because everybody knows what a Metroidvania is. You know, you collect things, and then you got to use the new powers you got to go back to places you already visited. Like, people know that, so they know that connection. And the same thing with like Dark Souls, like that Dark Souls is that kind of hard game, you know, and everybody knows what Dark Souls is. So when a developer comes around and says, our new game is like Dark Souls in this way, people have a frame of reference in their head to what that person's talking about. So I don't understand this part. Like, I mean, I guess maybe they talk about it in the sense that you don't really see it in TV ads, but they aren't running TV ads here. So I'm not really sure why Bluehole's upset that Fortnite and Epic are saying that their game is similar to PUBG. Like, is there some legal precedent that we don't know about, or that I don't know about? Unless, because it says here, the list was never discussed with us and we don't feel that it's right. But do they have to discuss it with Bluehole? Are they not allowed to just say, hey, our game is similar to PUBG, but it has the Fortnite, you know, groundwork where you can build buildings? I mean, if you watch the Fortnite version of it, I mean, you're building buildings like you would in Fortnite. Yeah, it's very similar to PUBG and it's last man standing and stuff like that, but they put the Fortnite spin on it. I mean, were they supposed to go and ask Bluehole for permission to say that their game is like that? I mean, is there some like legal precedent that I'm not really sure about? I don't know. It's kind of interesting though. You know, and maybe like Kotaku says here, maybe they're talking about the PlayStation blog where they're going to say we love Battle Royale games like PUBG and thought Fortnite would make a great foundation of our own version. Maybe that's what he's talking about and they don't like. But they closed the press release that he and his company plan to contemplate further action. But here's the thing. Like, see, we're not privy to the inner workings of the relationship between Epic Games and Bluehole, you know? But nobody's going to feel sorry for PUBG here. PUBG is a phenomenon. They've sold 12 million copies. You know, they're rich or getting richer. People are playing the game, right? And here comes Epic and with their new mode. Like, when you suddenly threaten legal action and then you just talk about Fortnite in this way, number one, you're giving Fortnite all this free press. Because as a developer of PUBG, you're putting Fortnite, which was beneath you, you're now raising Fortnite up to the same level as you, just by talking about it. So now, the players see this, so they think Fortnite is now on the same level as PUBG. And you've done that, because you were the one who started talking about this, right? And then, if you get more into that, it's like nobody's going to have any sympathy for PUBG because they're complaining about a clone when they themselves are a clone. So a lot of people just see it as like a double standard, or like, why are you upset with Epic for making a clone when your game is a clone of H1Z1? You know what I mean? And plus, your game's huge, 12 million. Like, worry about satiating your player base instead of worrying about what other developers are doing. You all knew the copycats were going to come down the road. You knew Ubisoft was going to do one, or EA, or Activision, or any of these giant publishers were going to try to get in on this AAA action because this industry is all about copycatting, you know, ideas that are successful. And if you're losing your marbles already over Fortnite doing it, what's going to happen next year when Ubisoft does it in a AAA fashion? Are you going to completely lose your top? Like, worry about your fan base. Worry about keeping your fans engaged with PUBG, making sure that they don't go anywhere. Because if you're worried that your customers are suddenly now going to bolt to Fortnite or any of the others' games, then you haven't done your job. Keep your player base happy, and they'll keep on playing PUBG, and the sales will keep on coming. Now, another thing I kind of thought about was, I wonder if PUBG is a little bit worried that Fortnite is hitting consoles first, because the Battle Royale genre on consoles is wide open. There's no game like it on PS4. Yeah, the Xbox One has the culling, which is in game preview, but I don't think the people playing that game is very large. So it's an open field. Somebody could come in there right away, be the first game to do it, and hit it big. And PUBG was going to do it. They signed that deal with Microsoft. It was going to come this year. We don't know of any other games in development, so it was like PUBG's going to, you know, they're dominating Steam, and then they're going to come to console. They're going to come to Xbox, you know, and they're going to maybe, possibly, because we don't know how a Battle Royale game will do on console, but it's going to do well on Xbox. But now, Epic, who happens to kind of be a partner or whatever with PUBG or Bluehole because they use Unreal Engine, is now getting to consoles before PUBG can, and then getting to both consoles, Xbox and PS4, before PUBG can even make its console debut. So maybe they're a little bit worried there that they see Fortnite getting to consoles before they can, and potentially limiting the audience for PUBG when it eventually gets there. There's a lot of things behind the scenes that we don't necessarily know about, but those are the couple of things that kind of came to mind. You know, you should have never even mentioned this. Bluehole should never have said anything about the whole Fortnite stuff, because you're giving them free press, and by mentioning the game, you're putting them on the same level as you. Now, more people know that Fortnite has this mode, right? Maybe they'll go check it out. Maybe they like it better than your game. And maybe they leave. You should have never have said anything. You should have just kept on grinding and making PUBG better for your customers on PC so they keep on playing your game. Because God forbid, if Ubisoft comes out with the game next year and it's PUBG but with AAA production values and it actually runs extremely well, I don't want to see people crying from Bluehole saying that, wah, they copied us. Yes, but you're a copy yourself. So just focus on making PUBG the best it can for the customers you have, and don't worry about any of that other stuff. It comes off as petty. At least to me it does. Anyways, guys, that is the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that like button. Consider subscribing for more content. Hit the notification bell so you're always notified when I drop new videos. I hope everybody has a good rest of the day. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'll see everybody in the next one. Later.